Hi and welcome to another studio vlog. I am coming to you today from a completely different angle. I don't normally film on this angle, but because I've had a big move around here in the shop, I thought I would show you a little bit more behind the scenes of what it's like running the shop side of the business. If you are new here, my name's Kerri and I run Art and Design by KB, which is my illustration side of the business, and then I also have a high street shop in Seaton in Devon called Devon Art Supplies and Betty's Books, where I sell art supplies and books. And in the middle here is also an aisle, a new aisle that we brought in this year for Art and Design by KB, because I only really started that side of my business in January of 2023. If you are not new here, you'll know all of that, so I apologise for going over it again. So I had a big move around. This is actually the counter, so when you come into the shop, this is where I stand. And I had a massive move around over the weekend. I finally took down the COVID screen, which is one of those and ah things. A lot of people are still a bit nervous and they want the screens there just to protect against just any type of illness. But I was feeling a little bit closed in, and also like the shop ended up, because I had extra high units here and then a big screen, I was feeling very much like I was blocked in and I couldn't see everybody when they were walking around the shop. Now, I have cameras everywhere throughout the shop, so that wasn't a problem. I could watch the cameras, but it's just nicer to be able to sit behind the desk, behind the counter, working around on my products and actually be able to look out and see everything. And by taking down what was here in the way on the counter, it means I can see everything. I can communicate with people a little bit clearer as well. Obviously the screen has now gone, so now when I'm talking to people there is nothing between us, and I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, and I'm not sure how my customers are going to feel, but a lot of people were saying, look, you can take it down, don't worry about it, it doesn't need to be there anymore. So it was one of those things that you just don't know what the best thing to do is when you're running a high street shop, but it has gone, and I think the counter's looking really good now, and I'm really happy with how things are coming along. The bits that you can see behind, so this is actually a card stand, and these are just the bits that I need to be able to have on hand and grab when I'm packaging up orders. And underneath the counter are all the bags, paper bags and things for when I'm putting things together for customers. And yeah, it's just good to feel like I can see again, and like it's much more open, and I feel like the shop's a bit bigger when it's like this. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go. Today is a Monday, so the shop is actually closed on Sundays and Mondays, and I spend my Mondays usually working in the studio area of the shop, which is the part that you normally see in the background. And today I need to prepare for a planner event that I'm going to be attending. This is going to be the first event that I have attended in many, many years. I have quite bad social anxiety, so I don't actually leave my home and shop very often, especially not without my husband and children. I kind of rely on them a little bit to keep me safe and keep me feeling safe at least. But this is going to be the first event that I'm going to attend without them since before the pandemic. I think I was definitely struggling just before the pandemic, and then the pandemic and being closed down for such a long period of time, I think that really gave me a knock to my confidence, and I think that's when the anxiety kicked in a lot. But this year I was determined to get myself a little bit more out there again, and so I booked in for this planner event, which is called the Southwest Planner Event Slumber Party, I think it's called, and it is in Taunton in Somerset, so it's about 45 to 50 minutes from here, but it's actually my hometown. That's where I was born, in Taunton. So it'll be really strange going back there, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to getting to meet lots of other people who enjoy stationery and planners. I used to be a massive Happy Planner fan, but I've actually moved away from the Happy Planner now, and I tend to use general notebooks and bullet journals to do my planning in instead of a Happy Planner. So it'll be really interesting actually to see all the different types of planners and what people like to use. And yeah, I'm going to be preparing some table gifts, which is something that you take on the Sunday part of the event. It's a 2-day event. So on the Saturday it's more like a mishmash event, and it's like a half day, and on the Sunday it's like a full day. And on the Sunday you take these gifts for the people that are on the table with you, and I need to prepare that. I think I need to do like 9 gifts, I'm not sure, I need to go back and check. and I'm probably going to do things that are Art and Design by KB things, because it's a great opportunity for me to network and let people know about me and my business and what I offer, because a lot of what I create and design can be used in planners and obviously is stationery related. So hopefully the people attending this event will be interested in following me on Instagram and liking what I do, and maybe have a look on the website, that sort of thing. So I'm definitely going to do table gifts that involve things by Art and Design by KB, and maybe some bits and pieces from the shop as well, so like things like washi tape, maybe pens and art supplies. I haven't really decided yet. That's what today is all about, and I'm going to bring you along today to show you a little bit of what I get up to and what I am making ready for this planner event. The other things on my to-do list today are packing orders that I had over the weekend, so thank you if you are one of those who ordered it from me over the weekend, and then just to catch up on admin and things like that, because it was the end of a VAT quarter, so I have to do that. And it was obviously the end of a month, so I need to make sure everything is updated for the end of June as well. So I'm going to bring you along for a little bit of today, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. I've just finished designing a little promo for the Moonglow mail, which is something that will be going out to my Patreons on the Moonglows and above tier for July. And July's theme is birds and blooms, and I have designed a sticker and a bookmark with both my brown birds and my bluebirds. And these here are two options of what could become the Moonglow mail. And what I do is, so I let my Patreon members actually choose which one of these that they want to receive. Either option, they'll get a double-sided bookmark and a sticker this month. And this is the type of mail where it has to fit into a letter. So the Moonglows tier is just where you get the letter thickness items. So that could be bookmarks, art prints, postcards, stickers, anything that's flat and fits in that letter. And then the Little Jewels is where I do the goodie box. So I let them vote on this for the Moonglow mail, and then for the goodie box it's usually mostly surprise items. I don't give away what's going to be in the Little Jewels box, but I do say what the theme's going to be, and obviously for July that's going to be birds and blooms. So anything to do with birds and flowers will be what you find in the Little Jewels box. There is still time if you want to receive either or of the Moonglow mail or the Little Jewels post. You can still sign up as long as you're signed up by, I think it's the 12th of July, then you will be able to get this July mail. And I'm really excited. I think I have 4 people on the Little Jewels box this month and 3 I think for Moonglow mail. But of course, if you're in the Little Jewels box, not only do you get the Little Jewels box, you get Moonglow mail as well, and that goes inside with the box, so you get this and other goodies. So yeah, definitely worth signing up if you want to get these birds and blooms themed items. And I'm just going to load this onto my Patreon now and see which one that they choose from. I usually do it as a little poll, and then usually about 24 to 48 hours I give them to vote on it, and then I can make sure that I've got enough ordered ready for my Patreons. The poll is now up and ready for my Patreons to vote on to decide what Moonglow mail they want to receive. And if you haven't seen my Patreon page before, here's a little sneak peek of what you can expect to find. So when you first land on my Patreon page as a patron, you're going to see the top banner here, and then as you scroll down you'll start to see whatever it is the tier you have opted for gets access to. So there are 3 different tiers. If you're on the first tier, Jelly Beans, then you're only going to see the sort of behind the scenes updates, podcasts, digital downloads, printables and things. If you're on the Moonglows or above, then you'll get to see things like the Moonglow voting polls and other bits and pieces. So at the moment, this is the poll that has just now gone up ready for Moonglows and above. And then this is accessible for anyone, so anyone can actually see this. This is just the schedule that tells you what is happening in July, and I will try and put this up here on the screen a bit more clearly so that you can see, but it's essentially telling everybody that you are, if you're in the Jelly Beans tier, you're going to get behind the scenes updates and podcasts, digital downloads and printables. If you're on the Moonglows, you're going to get all of that plus 20% discount code for my website. So that actually gives you a 20% discount code for devonartsupplies.co.uk, bettysbooks.co.uk, and also the Artanddesignbykb.co.uk websites. So if you want books, art supplies, or any of my products, then you can actually use that 20% discount code on any of those sites. It also gets you access to a Q&A session with me every month, and a new area of the Patreon which is called Small Biz Tips. So obviously I've had my shop, my high street shop now for over 10 years, and I've had 6 months now of running this Art and Design by KB online side of things. So I'm just really talking a little bit about my experience and the tips and things I've learned as part of the Q&A session. So I'm just really giving a bit of advice and my experience in the small business world, and that'll be things like sharing my manufacturer details and sharing my experience of working with different manufacturers, and also things that I've learned that help me save money or help me build the business in different ways. So that's going to be part of the Moonglows and above tier now, and obviously the Moonglow mail, which is what this poll that I just designed is about. And then for the Little Jewels, you get all of that, plus you also get the Little Jewels themed goodie box, which is sent to you in the mail. So that's all on there now for people to see. I'm not going to scroll down and show you any more because you obviously need to be a Patreon member to get access to all of the other bits and pieces that are on there. But I tend to give people on the Patreon a lot more access to what my real life is like running this small business and being a mum and trying to keep on top of everything, and just talking about all of my design ideas. I share my illustrations before they go up on Instagram. I talk about my future plans for the business and all that sort of good stuff. So if you're interested in supporting me and seeing what I'm up to before anyone else finds out, then think about joining my Patreon. Another piece of exciting news I wanted to share with you is that my Art and Design by KB Etsy account did in fact get the star seller status, which is what you can see up here. Thank you so much if any of you had placed orders to help me reach that star seller status. It means the absolute world to me to be able to achieve that, and also 91 sales in my first 6 months of having the Art and Design by KB Etsy. Obviously I've had Star Stellar before over on my Imagine Design Create 2 Etsy, where I sell my stamps and stencils and things like that, but because this is brand new, because this is only 6 months old, and this is this is what I want my future to be. So this Art and Design by KB for me is a massive thing. I really want to be illustrating and designing as my main part of my business moving forward. So to get Star Seller in my first 6 months and to have 91 sales listed on there is just absolutely fantastic. And that is obviously just my Etsy sales. That doesn't count anything that I sell in store. It doesn't count anything that I sold on my old website, which was my Devon Art Supplies website, and obviously my new Shopify website. So all of those are the places you've been buying my products from too. And yeah, it just means the absolute world to me. So I'm super happy how things are going in my first 6 months of having Art and Design by KB running. So yeah, exciting times, and I'm just really hoping that I can keep this momentum up and keep pushing forward and keep progressing. And yeah, I just really hope things keep moving forward. So I finished most of the admin tasks for the day, and it's now about 12:15, and I've just printed off my kit list ready for the planner event that I mentioned I'm attending in a couple of weekends time. So I've only got this coming weekend, and then it's actually the weekend after that, so I haven't got long to prepare. And I didn't really realise there was quite so much I needed to take to a planner event. I've never been to one as just a person attending a planner event. I've only ever really been to events and things as a stall holder. So this is the first time that I'm going just for me, and it's quite exciting. There are a lot of things here that I didn't really think about as being part of something that I would need to take, but I am starting to get prepared. I was going to take my own craft caddy to carry all the bits and pieces in, because I was in the group earlier today and noticed people were saying how they were going to take their things, whether it be in a bag or a craft caddy. And I thought to myself, I've actually got a craft caddy somewhere. And I went to find it, and I'll show you what it looks like. It looks an utter mess. So if you don't know, many years ago I used to be a craft industry demonstrator. So I used to travel around into places like Hobbycraft and The Range and various other stores and demonstrate craft products on behalf of craft companies. We're going back now at least 5 years pre-pandemic, and I did that alongside running my own business. I worked for companies like Do Crafts and Imagination Crafts and various other craft companies. But this is what my craft caddy looks like, because I must have literally finished an event and then I must have chucked it in a cupboard and completely forgotten about it. I was a massive crafter. I used to craft all sorts of different things, paper crafting and cards and scrapbooking, all that sort of thing. I was massively into crafts, and if you go back through my channel over the years, you'll probably see how my interests have changed from crafts then to arts and illustration. And I think I've really settled on more of the illustrative vibe rather than the way that I used to design things. So I'm really happy with where I'm at now, but I do still love crafting and making things. So I'm going to go through this craft caddy. It is not looking the best, so what I might do is give this a real good clean out and then a clean and see if it's usable. I have actually ordered a really affordable one in more of my sort of colours as well, so I've gone for light grey because it goes really well with the greens, and I thought that would be nicer for me to take to this planner event. And I actually am going to be starting a brand new bullet journal at the planner event, and this is the one that I'm going to be starting. So it actually comes with a like a pencil case that goes over the top, and I haven't started it at all. It's completely fresh and new, and yeah, it's the dotted bullet journal style. So that's going to be my brand new. I'm going to design a sticker and put it on the front here, and that's going to be what I use to go to this planner event with. I'm also going to take my sort of general planner. This planner here is just an A5 diary, and this is a week actually that I haven't written anything in, but you can see that I decorate it up with the stickers and things, and that sticker that just fell out is one of my own stickers. I keep some of them at the back here. So this is just an A5 diary, a traditional style diary that I put planner stickers and decorate up. And this one tends to be things that have happened, so I tend to write in here things that have happened already. Whereas I have a planner for planning ahead as well, and then I have lots of notebooks everywhere, and then I have my Patreon plans planner as well. And yeah, it's just a chance for me to get back into planning and back into making it feel creative and pretty, as opposed to just scribbling in a like diary or a notebook, which is what I've kind of been doing for the past year or so, because I used to work in a happy planner and I used to love my happy planner. But once I got really crazy busy with work, I kind of stopped having the time to put the stickers in my happy planner, and I think I'd like to get back into that a little bit more, because although I use stickers in this one, it's not quite the same as the happy planner layout. So yeah, I'm thinking the bullet journal is probably the way forward for me, and I'm going to see what inspires me when I go to this planner event and completely start from scratch in that new bullet journal. Hi guys, so it's coming up the end of my working day here in the shop and it is tipping it down with rain. I don't know if you can hear that. I actually love listening to the sound of the rain out here on the conservatory. It's just such a lovely sound, just the rain, nothing else. It has made the shop quiet, but that's to be expected on a rainy day. Because we are a tourist town, a seaside town, really we rely on the tourism, and when it's raining like this people tend to be either staying at home or in their caravans, and I've had a good number of customers in, people that just needed to pop in and get bits and pieces, but on a rainy day you don't tend to get browsers, so it's been a little bit quieter than the previous days which have been super sunny. I've managed to get lots done though. I had 2 really big box orders which were majority art supplies, which I've obviously shared with you in some clips. And I have managed to get lots of my admin tasks done and my computer-based tasks done. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how things have gone today. I do apologise, I've got an awful spot, which is why I'm kind of looking at this angle. I'm really not happy. I hate getting spots, especially at my age, mid-30s. I should not still be getting spots, but it's just the way it goes. Yeah, so I will likely end this vlog here, I think. I'm going to end this studio vlog today, and then I will pick up again from tomorrow to share with you other things I get up to, and then potentially I can put together more of a week studio vlog, what I get up to through a week. But I hope you found watching this studio vlog interesting. As always, if you've got any questions or you want to know anything about what it's like behind the scenes of running my business, then do get in touch. And if you want even more behind the scenes access, then do think about joining my Patreon. There is a 7-day free trial happening over on my Patreon for July. So if you've been umming and ahhing about joining my Patreon and wasn't sure, then maybe I can convince you with a 7-day free trial. You can go check that out now on my Patreon, and that will be open until the end of July. And then I'll see whether or not I want to keep that running as an option or whether I will switch that option off. But you can definitely access that trial now for the rest of July. And after the 7 days, you can then choose whether or not you want to continue supporting me and being a patron and getting access to all those extra bits and pieces, or if you would rather not stay on, then it's completely up to you. Obviously, you will not get any of the physical benefits when you trial on the 7-day free trial. You'll only get the online content because I can't afford to be sending out free of charge Moonglow mail or Little Jewels boxes, obviously. But you will get access to podcasts, printables, downloads, all of my small business tips and information, and everything that I've done before. You'll get all the access to the previous content that I've already uploaded since I started it in March of this year. So yeah, something worth considering. But thanks as always for coming and watching this studio vlog. If you've watched all the way to the end, I would love it if you would put a cloud emoji in this week. It's just so lovely to see who's actually watching all the way to the end and willing to go that extra mile and literally just put an emoji in there, because it just means the world to me to know that you're out there, you're listening. And as always, if you haven't already, please do subscribe, and any comments or anything like that will all help me grow the channel. So thanks guys, take care, bye.